Everybody get up.
Welcome to Body Shop TV. My name is Chella.
And I'm the Body Mechanic NYC, full effect today.
In full effect.
Yep, after that last show, the ball has been set in motion.
The bar has been set. Do you know how many phone calls I got, Body Mechanic?
Don't get me started. All of New York wants to meet Tom Mealy.
Listen, you know what they said? A lot of people said that I didn't know that the Body Mechanic had all that passion inside of him. I said, what do you expect? He's a black man. Damn.
I'm lost for words right now.
That was a great exchange that you had with Mr. Mealy.
Yes, I think.
People are still talking about it.
I think it was necessary.
Yes,
Absolutely.
It was good. I mean, you got it out of your systems, both of you.
I love Tom, and you know.
he loves you.
Yes,
you guys hugged after it was over.
But that was for America.
That was for the both of you. He meant that hug. He loves you.
Yeah, I meant it too. I don't hug people I don't like. I can't fake the funk. I don't live in that world.
No, life's too short.
Life is way too short.
So Body Shop TV is all about wellness and relationships, and we try to
Did you say wellness?
Yes,
Okay,
wellness.
yes.
Wellness and relationships, and we try to share information about those subjects to aid in the longevity of both.
Oh my God, I feel like I'm in Thailand. I'm sorry, that slipped.
That looks good. How come you didn't bring me one?
Because I can only carry one at a time.
That's okay. I have coquito. I have bootleg Betty coquito.
You can't be promoting alcohol on a show about...
Who said there's alcohol in there?
Okay, that's more like it.
It could have been a Shirley Temple type.
What?
It could have been a Shirley Temple type.
I don't know.
You have
that cognito bluish tint on there.
Sexy Body Shop blue. Isn't that beautiful?
Bootleg Betty.
Yes.
You are you coming up with these names just like, let me tell you. Passionate, brilliant.
Yes, yes. So, Body Mechanic, how was your week?
My week is
Was
that it's still happening.
still going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Saturday week.
Saturday. You're funny.
Yes, every day is a weekday and a weekend.
Every day's a school day for Chella.
Yes, every day's a school day. That is such an interesting thing you brought to my attention, Chella.
I know. Let me tell you.
The scum doesn't fall far from the tree, does it?
Stop it.
I got to keep it real.
Listen.
Why?
The reality of all these social media networks like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter.
Everyone's looking.
It's like people find each other from back in the day, a blast from the past. Hey, that was pretty surprising.
Yeah. That was pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about timing.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yep.
It's all good.
But
Special shout out to Staten Island.
Yep, but every bad building crumbles eventually. Okay, so yeah.
Anyway, so Body Mechanic today is a special show for me. We're going to be talking about HIV and AIDS.
Were you really concerned about asking me about my week?
Yeah, you didn't answer me, so I have to move on.
Okay, got you. Go ahead.
I ain't got time to waste.
I got
Nobody
you.
got time for that.
I hear you.
Did you want to say something about your week?
That's what you forgot. That's right. Yeah, well, that's good.
What do you want to say?
No, it's fine.
All right.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
haven't spoken to you all week. You must have been busy doing something.
You must have been busy, too.
No, you must have been.
No, you were busy.
You were busy.
Ah.
How come there's only one camera?
Huh?
There's only one camera.
Because they don't need one camera.
All right.
Exactly.
All right, so anyway, today's show is about HIV/AIDS. I've invited some guests. I hope they show up. December 1st was World AIDS Day, and there's not much talk about this virus for some reason. Do you have any ideas why?
I do.
I mean, they give one day of the year to remember the virus and remember those who have lost the battle to the disease.
I have a very distinct answer to that question.
Okay, what's your...
Well, let's think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to always refer back to do, re, mi and money,
Mm-hmm.
but there are a lot more people with cancer than there are with AIDS. And cancer is a much more profitable disease. Or malady.
All right, good answer.
In fact, it's probably 10 to 1.
I think because of the stigma. People are ashamed of talking about it or ashamed of discussing their family members that may have it. I think it's more of a stigma. I mean, I agree with you about the money, the do-re-mi, but there's also a stigma because it's much more fashionable to fashion a pink ribbon as opposed to a red ribbon.
Well,
I haven't seen one.
those things are what they may be, but at the end of the day, when it comes to the body, people are living with AIDS. People are dying with cancer. Does that make sense what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
So I'm not trying to make light of the situation. Granted, both of them are very bad, but I really do believe that as far as the exposure and what people know about, I think that when it comes to the airwaves and it comes to money, I think that the propaganda pushes cancer a lot more. They've been looking for the cure for cancer since the beginning, and they still have not found it in this country, but it exists in other countries. And also the cure for AIDS has been known for a long time, but it's still a mystery. But more money is made off of cancer research and those things. So I think it's a matter of funding and where our monies are going. You know, here in the trenches where we are just the pawns on the chessboard. So.
Well, you know, someone asked me recently, a young kid was asking me, well, how come Magic Johnson has AIDS and he's still living? And I said, well, let's talk about it. Number one, he's an athlete.
Right.
His immune system is extremely strong, and he could last a very long time. Number two, he's on Chemron. Chemron is a very expensive drug that a lot of people cannot afford. He's a celebrity. He's a successful businessman. He can afford to purchase Chemron. And it's not that easily accessible in this country. Underground it is.
But AIDS is a virus. And here's the thing, and a lot of things that people don't know is this. First of all, when you go see a doctor and certain information is bestowed upon you, there are a few mental things, stimuli that creates chemical imbalances in the body. Stress can dismantle the body, and a common cold could be detrimental to your health.
Right.
So we never take consideration the mental aspect of health. And like that movie Dallas Buyers Club, which was based on a true story, the man who got diagnosed with AIDS, who had 30 days to live, started taking supplements, no drugs at all, and lived for 10 years. And he was had full-blown AIDS. Never ever took any of those things. Matter of fact, when they gave him ATZ?
AZT.
AZT, he passed out. In fact, half of those human trials died from it. The drug was deadly. And he lived off of just supplements.
Wow.
Now imagine if he was eating good food. There are specific vitamins that kill viruses in your body. The common cold is a virus. The flu is a virus. AIDS is a virus. It is a virus. And your own immune system will actually destroy it. It's just a matter of, no one's talking about nutrition because allopathic medicine does not operate in that realm because there's monies that cannot be made off of public domain. You can grow your own medicine in your own yard. So it's a matter of that paradigm shift, understanding what really makes the body proliferate and be strong and repair itself. And that can be done with food. Dr. Sebi was curing AIDS. He was curing AIDS in 1977. That's why they ran him out of the country.
I remember.
Don't mess with our dough, bro.
True that.
Yeah.
I want to invite our viewers to give us a call with any stories they want to share, any questions, any comments by dialing the number on the bottom of the screen. But I just want to switch gears for a second. I'm drinking this water with this white powder that you gave me, and it really has no taste, and I want you to talk about it.
One of the supplements that I and it's not really a supplement. I don't even like using words like that. This is something actually that's derived from nature. They're called diatoms or the term is called diatomaceous earth. And it comes in what we call food grade, right? Which is it comes in food grade naturally from the earth. But once man puts his fingers on it and heats it up, then that's why they had to use the distinction of food grade. When they heat it up, it actually becomes toxic for the body. But in its natural state and form, what diatomaceous earth is, they are single-cell organisms, silica, that actually are in seawater and fresh water. And they are these deposits are found all over the globe. Saltwater beds and freshwater beds, literally just millions and millions of pounds of this silica. And basically, They have 15 trace minerals. They are geometric shape, actual living organisms that died, and then they form these crustaceans. Every single living thing on the planet, the only thing that they are that these diatoms are a detriment to when they are dead in their, when they're in their hard crustacean form, are actually insects. So if you've ever had a exterminator come to your home and put down white powder, it's diatomaceous earth. Diatomaceous earth is used in your toothpaste. Diatomaceous is used for deworming. When you drink it, it can actually deworm you, deworm your body. 50% of Westerners are walking around with huge parasites in their bodies.
True that.
If you eat fish, once you break the skin off of that fish, bacteria sets in and it grows. And when you eat it, if your digestion is not optimal, you will not kill those parasites, and they will leach and grow inside your body and feed off of your fuel system.
I wonder if Vicky Mealy knows that.
Huh?
I wonder if Vicky Mealy knows that.
Who, Miss Pescatarian?
Yeah.
I don't know. She's smarter than me. Maybe she does. We need to get her on so we can talk about it.
Right?
Yeah. Because having a huge worm, a tapeworm in your body, is definitely a pest.
Wow.
It can cause malnutrition,
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
As a matter of fact,
Suck you dry.
a lot of these worms, like animals can get tapeworms. A lot of you folks out there who have pets, those animals, tapeworms can jump into their bodies, right? Enlarge themselves in their skin, eat their way into the body of the host, and and live.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Take over their system. You feel tired. A lot of people that walk around that are tired actually have worms in their intestines.
Wow.
This diatomaceous earth, when you ingest it, actually breaks the outer coating of the worm and actually causes it to die.
Wow.
You could drink diatomaceous earth every day, and
what? Finish your sentence.
well, it helps with everything. Rebalances hormonal system. They're negatively charged. They bind with metal toxins, things like cadmium, lead, mercury, especially for those of you who love vaccines. That's another subject.
I've been enjoying it, and I've been enjoying the effects of it. But we'll talk about it when we come back from break, okay?
Absolutely.
All right, stay tuned.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
Being a fireman is more than just putting out blazes and giving kittens CPR. Sometimes my duty demands I fan the flames, like when a call comes in from a lady who needs immediate assistance. Maybe she needs help with a computer thing. Maybe she wants to go antique. Could be as simple as understanding that walking in heels it's hard. Aussi simple que l'été dernier à Paris. C'est sympa. Maybe it's ladies' night in, and she wants a simple, delicious recipe for margaritas with a twist. First, a can of limeade. Now hold on to this. You'll be using it. Side note, kittens make everything better. Next, add water. Now, a bottle of light beer. No, shh. Trust me, I'm a professional. And last, and most important, Sauza Blue tequila. Now, mix it up. Ole. Yes, that's what I'm trained for. Whether it's to help her choose leggings or pants, telling her leggings are pants, or discussing leggings and jeggings versus pant pegging at her next ladies' night in, I'll come to the rescue. Don't call me a hero. Just call me. Let me know what time.
Welcome back to Body Shop TV. My name is Chella.
And my name is the Body Mechanic NYC in full effect. So,
What does that mean in full effect?
it's it's very interesting to be the Body Mechanic, and I just want to share some things with you.
Yes.
Last
please
week
do.
we had an interesting dialogue with the owner of Madhouse TV, and our exchange was about the Ferguson verdict.
Right.
But what really the whole essence, as the smoke settled, it's a matter of right and left, cold and hot, right and left sides of the coin. We live in a world where we are segmented and compartmentalized by our shapes, by our size, by our color, by our income, and the list goes on. There are about 25, 30 different separations. And let me explain something to you, and I got to say this very clearly. Because for those of us, we live inside of our heads, and understand when you're exposed to something and someone says something to you, what happens is that creates a boundary. If you believe it, it creates a boundary. And it's not even real. None of this stuff is real until you believe it. So in this country, we have a belief that we are all different. And we really are all the same. Because as we peel the skin off, I'm telling you right now, if we were to peel the skin off and they did an autopsy, they would not be able to tell if you were black, white, green, or yellow. The only way they'd be able to tell is maybe by, based on the food that was in your stomach. If they found some rice, they'd probably think you're Asian. If they found some pasta, they would think you're Italian.
No.
That's about it. But other than that, they would not be able to know who you are. And because of these things that have been set up, we fall right into the maze, and all the things that we argue about on a daily basis are actually false. But that discussion ended up being a black and white discussion. Because at the end of the day, this separation was started a long, long time ago. Not just when slavery started, but even before that.
But we're not going to get into that right now.
Right, we're not going to get into that. But
Because you're trying to tell me,
Right, but-
wait a minute, you're trying to tell me what in full effect means.
right.
This is a long
No, because
dissertation.
you really can't say something and just say a few things and get people to understand it. Because they don't understand the basics, Chella.
All right, so
You know what I mean? So, and the point I'm trying to make is this. I walk into people's lives, and usually I get called in because what they're doing does not work, right? People do what they do. It's their specialty. They never question anything. But one thing they don't question is about their health. Now, how do you walk into a facility, right? You see a guy standing there. He's 300 pounds. He has a stethoscope on his chest, and he has these accolades, and he's here to help you with your health.
My father's cardiologist.
Don't get me started.
Oh my God, he's 2 tons of fun.
But I want you to understand. I want you to understand this big picture. Here you are. You go see your doctor, and your doctor is not healthy. So how can you believe anything that that guy says when he's telling you how to take care of yourself?
That's a joke.
Shell, does that make any sense?
It's a joke. It's a
You
joke.
go to the VA hospital, and I go into the emergency room, and the doctor is an oncologist wearing fake eye contacts. She has kyphosis. She's coughing in the emergency room where people are sick and they have compromised immune response.
And telling us how unhealthy she eats.
And telling me, because once she asked me, she wanted to give me an injection, and the body mechanic does not use man-made drugs. End of story.
That was
I'd rather have
funny.
an amputation. So check this out. I hate to call people out. I don't know her name, but this is the deal. She wanted to inject me with an NSAID, right? Or an anti-inflammatory. Do you know why inflammation is produced in your body? The reason why your body produces inflammation, because when there is something in your body that is foreign, your body attacks it. So it creates inflammation. If you have an injury, inflammation is part of the healing response. It's only supposed to stick around for a little while, and then it goes away. It goes down. It drops down. But if it stays elevated for long periods of time, then that inflammation becomes a problem because your own immune system starts attacking your own tissue. Okay. So when she wanted to give me the injection, the body mechanic said, well, if you give me the injection, it's going to affect my internal flora. I won't be able to digest my food, and I have a host of other issues.
And she said it wouldn't affect your
She
flora.
said it wouldn't affect my flora because she must have thought I was a construction worker that never went to school and knew nothing. Because that's what doctors do. They
Are you
assume-
implying that construction workers don't go to school?
No.
Well, what are you implying?
Well, okay, not construction workers. Okay, just anyone who knows nothing about their bodies. Let's just put it like that.
All right.
All right? And that's 98% of the people who go see a doctor don't know anything about their bodies. So I said, no, doc, it does. And then when I started explaining to her how it works, then what did she say? Who are you? And then I gave her a prescription of how to heal her cold. Because if you're walking around and you're coughing that crap out of your lungs in the operating room or in an emergency where everyone is sick,
That
who
was
is susceptible,
crazy.
right?
That was ridiculous.
Ridiculous. That's what we're up against.
Yeah, the VA, once
Yeah.
again.
So, folks, all
So-
the information that the body mechanic talks about is public information. All you have to do is do the research. See, I just saved you the painstaking time of spending hours and hours, 10,000, 20,000 hours doing research, cross-referencing, working with people, healing them, and then I give you the straight answers. Don't need pills manufactured by man in the lab to fix your body. Everything you need grows right outside in nature.
All right, so body mechanic.
So,
Is that your answer as to my question?
In full effect?
In full effect?
yeah. Oh, I know why I went there.
OMG.
Because when I start to talk to people, this is something that everyone does. The first thing they do, they look at me, they turn their head, they go. Then they look at my shoes.
Because of your clothing,
Then
the
they
way...
look at my shoes. I got to go through all this.
Right.
But this is how the system's been set up. They look at my shoes. You go, Then they say, how did you learn so much stuff?
Shaking my head.
So I can go many directions with that statement. But most of the time I don't spend time developing it. I go, the same way you did. The only difference is you paid $300,000 for your education, and I did it out of the love of wanting to help people. Same thing. There's no difference between the person with that stuff, accreditations on the wall, and the person who goes and reads stuff and cross-reference and learn the material the same way. They're both getting educated the same way. Only difference is mine is not profit-driven. I learned because I really wanted to help people. And I don't have time to have them as patients for the rest of my life. Unlike those doctors who drive their big Mercedes-Benz, and I don't have any problem with making money. It's wonderful. But when you make it under false pretenses, then it's a different story.
Yeah.
So there you go.
All right,
So
so...
you want to talk a little bit more about this
No,
diet?
I
to make
really
sure that'd
don't...
be quick?
No, not anymore. I'm tired
You don't want
of
to share your health regimen with the world? Okay, go ahead. So let's go into our topic.
No, not really.
I understand.
But I got to tell you, the swimming pool is amazing.
Oh, swimming, you mean?
Yeah, I swim like 4 times a week in this saltwater pool at my gym, and it's like going to heaven, I swear to God. I go to the gym, I walk and I swim for like an hour, and then I do 200 squats in the jacuzzi, and then I sit in the steam room. It is so good. It is so good. I recommend that to anyone. But anyway, I want to talk about our holiday party.
Yeah, you have to be active, folks. That's the bottom line. You got to oxygenate your brain. Oxygen heats your body up.
Yes, yes, yes. So I want to talk about holiday party. You know, it's Monday.
Monday when?
No, it's not. It's a week from Monday, the 13th.
It's the following.
No, the 15th.
It's the following Monday.
Right. It's the 15th. So come one, come all. It's a free holiday party. You're going to get massaged by the body mechanic.
Coachella.
You're going to get organic food.
By the way, y'all, make sure you have a pedicure, because I know how you get there to the event, you're like, I'm not taking my shoes off because my toes don't look good. So start soaking in some coconut oil and put some oregano oil on it to help you with that. And you don't mind taking your shoes off and getting your feet rubbed. We're
going to have it at Jack's. It's the only gluten-free bakery bistro on Long Island. It's in Hicksville. I went there.
Ella just loves sugar.
No, there's no sugar there. It's organic and it's gluten-free. So
What
check
do
it
you
out.
mean?
So I went there the other
Ella,
day.
don't even try it.
I went there to look at the venue.
How can you sell pastries without sugar? You can't.
What? Oh, it must be me.
It's you, Miss Pescatarian.
So anyway, I went to the venue to check it out. The
Yes.
place is huge.
Oh, it's a candle, Victoria.
No, it's me. It's Japanese cherry blossom.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, I went to this venue and it's beautiful. It's in
Yeah.
Hicksville. Nice, lit, big, spacious, and she has this huge counter of all her bakery products.
Of sugar?
Well, she uses good sugar, not refined sugar. And then she has a bistro where she makes gluten-free food. Why are you laughing?
I'm not laughing.
What are you doing?
Because
Gender flexing? What are you doing?
No, because you can't use good and sugar in the same sentence. But go ahead.
Please.
All right, go ahead.
Anyway,
You're excited about this, aren't you?
you know why I'm
I
excited?
guarantee you get one of those black brownies, aren't you?
She gave me one. I went the other day. But you know why I'm excited? Because the venue is different, and we can combine our holiday party, you know, give love to everybody who support us all year long, all of our guests, you know, the Madhouse family, and just everyone. Isn't that cool?
Yes.
So it's free. It's going to have nice organic and gluten-free food, so come on. And I may bring some coquito. So it's December 15th from 7 to 10 p.m. at Jack's Bistro in
That's next
Hicksville.
Monday. Monday
It's-
after next.
It's a week from this Monday, the 15th.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's a holiday rub party.
Yeah,
Right.
cool beans. So I hope our guests are coming.
Huh?
I hope we have guests coming today.
What do you mean?
But I really devoted this day. I planned this day all year long to talk about HIV/AIDS. Anyway, we're gonna go take a break now.
Maybe you talk about it every day.
We should raise the awareness because you don't see red ribbons anymore, and you don't hear people talking about it very much.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Now it's Ebola and cancer
We'll be right back.
in Ferguson.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques She has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
Welcome back to Body Shop TV. My name is Chella.
Chella, this is the biomechanic. Do you know what the term insanity means? Term insanity means that
doing the same thing
trying
over
to do
and
the
over
same thing
again.
over and over and expecting a different outcome.
Right.
Exactly.
Why did you ask?
Because we just had a little mild discussion a few minutes ago, and a lot of us are under the misconception that a lot of things that we have wrong with our bodies are passed on through generations. Physically. That is partially true. But here's what's something that's amazing about your body. When you give the body what it needs, regardless of what the past was, the body will take and fix itself. So it's not necessarily genetically that is the things are being passed. It's a fact that they are deficiencies. Because when a child is born, a lot of times children are born with light color eyes, and as they grow and get healthier, what you notice is that recessive trait of that light color eye actually starts to turn brown. That's because as the baby starts to become more nutrition, those deficiencies disappear.
Right, because we're born with two colors, brown and blue.
No, those are the primary colors. Right.
The other colors are...
I don't even know if blue is really. I think that brown is a dominant trait. Because once you put chocolate in the water, there's no more lightness to be seen.
You're funny. So,
what they say? An ounce of chocolate is worth a pound of cure.
So Body Mechanic,
Watch out.
Here on March 29th at Madhouse TV, they're going to be hosting a telethon.
Keeping it real, HIV.
Yes, you like that? They're going to be hosting a telethon for the stroke victims you know, Renee and Bobby Love are going to be hosting this awesome telethon. So we're trying to get as many people here as possible. It's from 2 o'clock in the afternoon until 8 o'clock at night. Isn't that cool?
That's
a
awesome.
live telethon.
Really,
So-
we're gonna be part of a live telethon.
And you and I are going to be the co-hosts.
What day is it on?
It's a Sunday.
A
And
Sunday?
Yeah, and you and I are going to be one
What
of the
is the date?
co-hosts. I just said it.
Say it again.
March 29th.
Oh, I didn't hear it first time.
Okay. And did you hear that we're going to be co-hosts?
Really?
Yes. Isn't that cool?
Which location we're gonna be doing it? From the round table?
What did I just say? We're here.
No, I said we're gonna do it from the round table.
No, it's going to be a telethon. It's going to be the whole building.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's big dog.
Yeah.
That's big dog style. That's like hanging out with Tom Mealy style. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Hold on a second. A lot of people want to know what this is. This is a shaved coconut. People will say, biomechanic, what do you recommend? Do you recommend drinking it from a carton or having it from the real coconut? Well, I prefer to have things that have not been touched by a human being. And this is minimal touching because when you scrape this off, they can't get inside because there's this hard shell that protects it. It has the outside coating. That's what's incredible about nature. It really learns to protect itself from us.
How come you didn't buy two?
Huh?
I didn't
I
stutter.
did, but they weigh like 20 pounds each.
So you're the body mechanic.
No, I'm fluffless. I'm not strong anymore. I'm weak.
Okay.
Ah! So,
So do you want to ask me how my week was, by any chance?
I know you want to tell me. Go ahead.
After 45 minutes?
Don't even try it.
Well, I got to tell you, oral health is extremely important.
Well, oral health can kill you. Poor oral health can cause diabetes, hypertension.
Oh
yeah, I
my
agree.
God. I had an incident where I don't know. It's not vanity.
Yours wasn't really. No,
No.
It is vanity.
No, it's not vanity.
Because one of your biggest pet peeves is how people, when they open their mouth, if they have one tooth, it's a problem.
I am so into teeth. I don't know what it is. I'm obsessed with teeth. Someone with a beautiful smile, I melt. I totally melt.
Too funny.
And so I had an incident this week where my smile was compromised, and I. It
You like
was
you had a
really.
big leaf on a
Oh my
tooth.
God! It was traumatic for me. And
Did you find the tooth?
I had it taken care of, obviously.
Did you find the tooth?
It wasn't lost.
Oh, it was? Oh, okay, sorry.
Smarty.
I thought you swallowed it. You had to wait for
No,
two
no.
generations or something.
But I tell you, I went through some changes.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
And it's not vanity. I think it's I think it's other
No,
things.
If you have to question it, it is.
No, it's not. I'm not questioning it.
No, you
it's
said,
not.
you're going, it's not vanity.
It's not vanity. I think it's confidence. Because I wasn't confident like I am now.
You are not confident because of your own perception of how you see people who don't have perfect teeth.
OMG.
Exactly. You created your own coffin for yourself.
Well,
Otherwise, you could have been Tony the Tiger. Yeah. So what else happened besides your vanity? Your vanity.
oh,
family?
I have some interesting news. I'm going to be hosting my own TV show here. I think it's called Lifestyles in the same building. And I'll be interviewing top CEOs throughout the region and small business owners and nonprofit organizations. And the show's going to be called A Name to Know.
Cool beans.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing that here every Thursday at 1 p.m. live. Isn't that cool? I'm excited.
That's awesome.
So, body mechanic.
Yeah.
I chose this topic of HIV/AIDS because of, for obvious reasons. You know, my brother died in '88, and I spent half of my life providing HIV prevention education. When he died, I became a health educator, and I started out with providing programs in schools across Long Island. And I remember when I first started, it was very difficult for me because, you know, it was new that my brother had passed away, and to speak with young people who I know are at risk. You know, here I am, an older person, kicking it with teenagers, high school students, about prevention and their sexual behaviors. And I had to find a niche really quick to be able to be effective to the kids. And I was able to do that really, very, very, very quickly and very well. And I did it throughout Long Island. It was great. It was great, great experience. And then I began to speak with adults in PTA meetings and medical professionals. It was quite an awesome experience. And I continue to do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody personally or close to me that has, or I don't.
Well, consider yourself fortunate.
Yeah, I didn't go
Because
through that experience.
it's no joke. Because when one person is infected, the entire family is affected.
Mm-hmm.
It's no joke. It is no joke at all. I don't wish it on anyone. But it's a reality.
Yeah.
And I think it's sad that we're not discussing it anymore.
I know. I mean, a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that when someone has, because of the stigma with AIDS, because of how it was put out there, like it was a bisexual disease or something, whatever the stigma is, a lot of times family members have it and people just don't talk about it, but people talk about all the other conditions, hypertension, diabetes,
Mm-hmm.
cancer, they'll talk about that. And even that sometimes they don't talk about because people are embarrassed that they have an illness. I mean, that's really, hiding it alone is a detriment to your health.
You know what I find amazing? When someone learns that someone else is infected with the HIV virus, the first question that person has is how they contract it. Why is that important?
Because that all goes back to the stigma about like who had AIDS. Like that's how it was promoted. You know the answer to that, Chella. That's what it was, and that's why they ask you. No one knows. No one knows.
No one knows.
I told you. We were on the Passion for Life show with Dee and friends, and I made a statement about. I remember watching a documentary. It was very late in the morning, and they had incarcerated these 7 white individuals, and they were scientists and doctors, and they were taking the AIDS virus and infecting water systems with it.
Mm.
Can you imagine? There are documents about the AIDS virus being transported to other countries. So people walk around and they have their heads stuck in the sand.
Yep.
That's really what's going on.
Yeah.
Because and no one searches outside of their own realm to learn things. Only unless it directly affects them, then they want to learn.
That's right.
And so there's all kinds of questions around the fog of AIDS. It really is. It's just it's how it's promoted. And all you have to do is say something once,
Mm-hmm.
and it spreads like wildfire, and then no one questions the origin. They never, ever question the origin of anything. When I talk to people, the first thing I do is think about their motives. Why are they bringing this information to me? That's what you have to ask yourself on a daily basis. Is this company really have my best interest at heart?
Mm-hmm.
Is their product really for my well-being? Are the owners or the people who started this product, are they consumers of their own product? These are basic questions that everyone has to ask themselves each and every day. So.
Wow, we're going to take a break right
Yes.
now. When we come back, I'm going to talk about I'm going to give a brief AIDS 101 for those of us who don't understand the basics of the virus.
Mhm.
We'll be right back.
Definitely.
We're going to do a live commercial. Hi, I'm Renee Marie. I'm the president of Language of Love Incorporated Foundation. I'm really happy to tell you that We're going to be doing a Language of Love telethon on March 29, 2015 from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Please look for the location on my website, ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. And once again, it's ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. And the show will be hosted on the Madhouse TV. It really is important for you to be aware of strokes and aphasia. Strokes is the third leading cause of death in America and the first leading cause of disability. And it really is something that plays no favoritism. And it also really comes when you're not expecting. Nobody expects to have a stroke, and nobody expects to suffer from aphasia, and it really does make a huge impact in your life and change your life in one split second. So we look forward to having everyone join us once again on March 29, 2015 from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. And you can follow us on ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. Once again, it's ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. And we look forward to seeing you. God bless.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
Rockin' Inc. MC with Madhouse TV present Rockin' Madhouse event in association with CNC Spirits and Wines. Sunday, December 7th. Doors open 5 p.m. The premiere of Mick James at Revolution Music Hall in Amityville, New York, and Club Loaded. Special guest Tang featuring Denny Colt and Bonnie Parker, also featuring Fractured Smile. Come meet alternative model and TV personality Kitty Crystal and Long Island's own Alicia Ray. Also meet the hot woman of Armageddon. Come hang with Ink Master Jay Blondell and the internet's newest social media, Tales of the Tap. Ladies, come get crowned Miss Rocket Inc. MC and appear on shows as co-host. This event will be filmed live and aired on Rockin' Inc. MC on a later date. Advance tickets $12 at clubloaded.com and check rockinincmc.com for other locations.
Old Spice body spray will make you feel so powerful to blow your mind right in front of your face. Goodbye. Oh no! Power!
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Oh, Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
Try this routine to feel fresh and clean. Pair Charmin Fresh Mates with your Charmin.
Oh, Spice body spray is too powerful to stay in its own commercial. That's right. Power! Old Spice body spray can change a regular smelling man into a man who smells like power!
Now, how is this? Wow, you know what? I actually do feel more powerful.
Potato chips! Power! It's me.
My name is Dr. Robert Brevard. I'm here for Multi-Medicine in Westbury, New York. We're located at 1065 Old Country Road, Suite 214. Been here for about 15 years. The practice has medical doctors, physical therapists, chiropractors, acupuncturists. We also do pain management, and we have orthopedists on staff. Here at Advanced Multi-Medicine Rehabilitation, we've got physical therapists on staff who treat an array of conditions, from neck pain to back pain, shoulder pain. We treat carpal tunnel. We treat a lot of car accident patients, slip and falls. We treat patients with knee injuries, with ankle injuries. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We've been here for over 15 years. Vast array of diagnostic testing, from x-rays to EMGs. What is an EMG? It's a diagnostic test that allows a doctor to determine where the pinched nerve is. Cora is a physical therapist at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. She's working on Stephanie, who was involved recently in an automobile accident. Stephanie has tight thoracic and cervical musculature, and Cora is doing some myofascial release work and some therapeutic stretching, doing it to help her with her pain. Vicky is also a patient here at Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation. Vicky is now working her leg muscles, specifically her quadricep muscles, trying to strengthen them after an injury she sustained. If you find yourself in need of any type of physical therapy, please don't hesitate to call Advanced Multi-Medicine and Rehabilitation, located in Westbury, New York, in Suite 214. Phone number is 516-334-7000, or find us on our website at advancedmultimedicine.com.
front of your face! Goodbye. Oh no! It's like you guys, I don't. Power!
Automatic freshness, softness, and static control has never been easier with the Bounce Dryer Bar. I just stick it to the inside of my dryer, and I never have to remember.
Oh, Old Spice body spray makes you smell like power! It's so powerful it sells itself in other people's commercials. You smell like outdoor freshness.
You smell like power.
Yeah, I do. Power! Power!
Try this routine to feel fresh and clean. Pair Charmin Fresh Mates with your Charmin.
Oh, Old Spice body spray is too powerful to stay in its own commercial. That's right. Power! Old Spice body spray can change a regular smelling man into a man who smells like power!
Now, how is this? Wow, you know what? I actually do feel more powerful.
Potato chips! Power! It's me.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think
I am Tom Mealy for the Harrison Law Group, and I have been telling you for years that getting involved in an automobile accident is no joke. This is what we do. We're not new at this game. If you've been involved in an accident of any kind, and you go to a law firm that says you have no case, it's simple. It's because they can't do it and they don't get it. You need to call us directly at 1-800-INJURY-LAW.
Nova's Rockin' Inc. MC with Madhouse TV present Rockin' Madhouse event in association with CNC Spirits and Wines. Sunday, December 7th, doors open 5 p.m. The premiere of Mick James at Revolution Music Hall in Amityville, New York, and Club Loaded. Special guest Tang featuring Denny Colt and Bonnie Parker, also featuring Fractured Smile. Come meet alternative model and TV personality Kitty Crystal and Long Island's own Alicia Ray. Also meet the hot woman of Armageddon. Come hang with Ink Master Jay Blondell and the internet's newest social media, Tales of the Tap. Ladies, come get crowned Miss Rocket Inc. MC and appear on shows as co-host. This event will be filmed live and aired on Rockin' Inc. MC on a later date. Advance tickets $12 at clubloaded.com and check rockinincmc.com for other locations. Nova's Rockin' Inc.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, And we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
Welcome back to Body Shop TV. My name is Chella.
And I'm the Body Mechanic NYC.
So our guest finally arrived. I was so excited to have him join us. Mead Jackson, welcome to Body Shop TV.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's been a long time.
Yes, it has.
Mead Jackson and I go way, way back, Body Mechanic.
Yeah?
Yes.
I can tell by his smile.
No, I'm always smiling.
So, I don't remember when I met you, Mead. Do you remember?
Back in about...
the 90s?
I think it may have been a little before that. You know, when I was youngest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right.
Are you all the same age?
I don't know.
No. I'll be 50 in January.
Oh, you're a
Remember,
baby.
that's my birthday,
Okay.
January 20th.
All right.
You'll be 50?
January 20th.
How does 50 feel? He doesn't know yet. He's not there yet.
That's right. I don't know. I haven't been there yet.
How do you feel?
I feel fine.
Good.
Yep, I feel fine enough to just jump in the car and get
Get lost.
Get lost. Well, I'm glad you made the effort to come here and
when the
join us today.
GPS wasn't working. Yes.
I was telling the body mechanic earlier that, providing HIV/AIDS awareness information is important to me because I lost my brother in '88. And after losing him, I learned that many of my family members were infected with the virus and so many other friends that I had. So it's very special to me, and I appreciate you joining us today. So you want to share briefly your journey, where you are and where you are right now, where you were and where you are right now?
Okay. Where I was, I don't know where to start. I was in Farmingdale College, and when I advanced from Farmingdale College, I decided to move to West Palm Beach. I moved to West Palm Beach, and I kept going back and forth between West Palm Beach, and I'd go partying in Miami Beach, and back to West Palm Beach. Then my parents called me, and my father needed transportation back from his house in Amityville to the Veterans.
The VA hospital?
The VA hospital.
How
in
long ago
Northport.
was this?
That was back in 90. I'm not good with the dates.
That's okay.
Back in the 90s.
Back in.
Yeah. And so, and I told him, I said, I'm coming out here. I'm going to help you find the transportation. Then I'm going back to Florida. So I found this transportation, and what I did was I went back to Florida, but instead of going to West Palm, I went to Miami Beach. And Miami Beach was a straight up party. And yes. And what happened is I had everything together. I was all,
So you were 30 at that time.
about,
It's
yeah.
like 31, 30, yes.
Yeah. Actually, you know something? I was like 27.
Right, that's okay.
Because I do remember that. And so, and I had a job working 1 to 11. And that was perfect because I can, so after work, I can go home, get dressed, and go out. And didn't have to worry about being at work until 1 o'clock.
Right, so you could sleep in.
Yes. And so, cocaine was my thing. And so, just sniffing the cocaine, And my body was doing me good. I was waist 32, and I was doing everything.
Is your waist 32, body mechanic?
It's pretty small. My waist is pretty, I don't know what my waist is now. I just know my clothes fall off me.
Yeah, anyway, let's see. So, one day, I said, I don't feel good this morning.
Were you working out at all at that time?
No.
You weren't active at all?
No, I wasn't.
Were you an athlete in school or anything like that? Or?
I played soccer in school.
All right, so
but that was in junior high.
Oh.
Yeah, but
in high school you didn't do anything?
No, because I went to a special high school in Mississippi. No, but what happened was I went to, I had been nightlife and cocaine. You don't want to eat,
Right.
And I was born with the athletic shape anyway, so, So everything was working out good for me until one day I just started saying, I don't feel good. I'm going to call in. And I was the assistant manager. And so what happened is I had a car, but the weight started falling off me. And I called a friend of mine, and he said, wait a minute, you were at work 3 days ago. You were looking fine. What's wrong? I said, I'm sick. He said, what kind of sick? I said, I think I have HIV.
You thought that without being tested?
Huh?
You thought that prior to getting tested?
Yes.
Because you had put yourself at risk.
Yes. And I told most of the people that, that I had sex with, well, I tell the majority of them that I think I'm at risk, you know. And I was doing that before, you know. And so what happened is I told my doctor, because well, first of all, I went to a doctor in Miami Beach, and he was cuckoo. He was like, well, you're allergic to the rug in your house. It has cat dander in it.
So you're saying you're having an allergy?
Yeah, and it's affecting your lungs and everything. So you're going to have to get rid of all the carpet in your house. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And then he, I don't want to get too graphic, but he said, I'm going to give you a enema. It's going to help your lungs. And I said, okay. I went through it. And on the way, just as we were ending, he's like, you're not in the life or anything, are you? I said, no. He said, yeah, because that.
What do you mean in the life?
If you were you gay?
And you weren't. You're not gay.
No, I was telling him I wasn't gay. I wasn't gay then. No.
At that moment.
You digging too many places. No, but what happened was I said no, and what happened was he said, yeah, because those gay people, they getting sick and they have that HIV, and I don't deal with that. And when I heard that, I said, okay, this is the last time I'm coming here. Anyway, so I went home and I started researching.
And this was a doctor talking like that?
The doctor,
Did he wear gloves?
Huh?
Did he wear gloves?
I don't think so. This is back in 92, I guess.
I was going to ask you something.
Yeah, go ahead.
He gave you an enema, right?
To clear his lungs.
And what was in the enema?
I don't know. See, the fact is, I knew a lot about HIV, but I didn't know about any of the medicines or anything. And so what happened was I went home and I started doing some research, and I found the doctor. He was in South Miami. Can I say his name?
Yeah.
His name is Dr. Lawrence Feldman. He's retired now. But what happened was I went into his office. He said, what seems to be the problem? I said, I need to get tested for HIV and AIDS. So he came over, he squeezed my finger. He said, no, you don't need to be tested. You need to go into the hospital.
Oh, he did a physical check, and he knew by.
No, what happened is that if your lungs are messed up, you'll show in your hand. Your fingernails will be white.
Right, because you're not getting any circulation.
Right, you have no blood going through this thing. And luckily, we were right across the street from the hospital he works at. And so he said, I'm going to take an X-ray, and then I'm going to roll you over to the hospital. Well, he did an X-ray. He said, yes. He said, you have PCP pneumonia.
Pneumocystis carinii.
Right, so your immune system
Pneumocystis carinii,
is not
yes.
protecting you anymore.
And what happened was he rolled me across the street, and he, instead of going through emergency room, he rolled me right up onto a floor and got me into a bed. And thank God I was, being serviced right then and there. Because I later found out that PCP is one of the things that kills you.
Yeah.
A lot of people have PCP and, I'm just sick. And if you don't handle it right away, it'll kill you. A lot of people have died from that.
Well, there's a lot of things there's metals in your body. Once your immune system is compromised, these things that your immune system keeps at bay now become detrimental factors to your health. So it's...
Right, but I could have been positive long time before that. But I was eating right, even though I was doing no cocaine, I was partying, but I was still eating right every day. And only God. But what happened is he said, yes, you have AIDS. You're not HIV positive. And so a long drawn out thing where my job, I called them and told them that, I'm sick. They want to know where you are. And thank goodness I went to the doctor. The doctor said, you don't have to tell them where you are. You don't have to tell them anything. Just tell them that you're sick and you won't be in. And you'll get in touch with them when you're ready to come back to work. Well, that day when I told them that, next day they sent a letter to my house stating, you were terminated for where I was assistant manager, so I had to be there. So they said, because you didn't comply with the rules, that you're terminated.
You abandoned
Yes.
your role.
And so what happened is I spoke to my doctor. He said, don't even worry about it. Don't get yourself worked up because you can sue over that. And so I said, okay. And also I was sitting saying, I had so many things on my mind that I was saying, okay, what am I going to do? How am I going to survive this? And what happened is I was going through and knowing what I was brought up in holiness. So I was going back to God saying, Lord help me, Lord help me, Lord help me. And I'll be honest, I got through 14 days in the hospital. I got out the hospital and I still wasn't ready to go back to work. So what happened is
You mean you weren't feeling well still?
No, I wasn't feeling well. I wasn't up to par. And so what happened was because the job had, our insurance had $1 million health policy. So I could spend up to $1 million. That was back in the day when everything was good. And so what happened is I had a home nurse come to me every day. And I finally got to the point where I could get up and get around. So I went back to the job.
That had terminated you.
That had terminated me, yes. I went there, and they said, well, you got to turn your keys in. I said, turn my keys in. I said, what are you talking about? They said, you've been terminated. I said, well, let me just tell you right now, that's against the law. And he said, okay, well, deal with this another time. All the locks have been changed. You don't have the key. All the combinations have been changed.
Wow.
Well, that's what they do.
Yeah, and so what happened was I said, okay. So I came back home, and I started thinking. And I applied for whatever help I can get. But back then in Florida, they weren't giving any help to a man. So what happened is I ended up telling my friend, I said, listen, I got to move back to New York, move back to my family. And what happened, I started getting myself prepared. And I finally said, okay, I'm driving back to New York. I sold everything. I gave the other stuff away. And what I did was, this is hard to remember, I came back to New York, and I had like 1,000 things going through my mind. But I moved back with my parents. And one day I was laying on the couch, and my mother said, "Me, you have so much pain in your face. What's wrong?" And I said, "Well, Mom, you're that man that used to come to church and say, 'Sin leaves a mark'?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, sin has left his mark on me." She said, "Okay, I know what you're talking about. You have to say another thing." And that was my mother's wisdom.
Every mother knows her child.
Yeah.
Every mother loves her child.
And she said, listen, she said, let me tell your father, because I know how to deal with him. Now that was over 20 years ago. Yes. And my father came to me one night and said, listen, I don't understand what you're going through. But he did not say I love you, but he said, I'll be there for you.
That's
if you
okay.
need me. And that was the first time that he said, the first time he said something close to "I love you."
Aw.
Yeah,
In your life.
in my life, yes.
Wow.
Yep. And so what happened is, I started doing things. And I think that's when I met, well, no, because what happened, I moved into my sister's house. I had to get out of my parents' house. I moved in my sister, and one day my sister walked in the room. She said, "Mira, you going to sit there and die?" And I thought about it. I said, "No." So I went and I grabbed the phone book. And I started looking under AIDS and everything else. And that's what turned everything around. Because I got in touch with
510.
PWAC.
Oh, PWAC. Oh, that's where we met.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, People with AIDS Coalition.
Yes.
It's called PWAC?
Yeah,
Yeah,
PWAC.
People with AIDS Coalition, yes. And
That was a great organization.
yeah, it was. We started doing things like going to the Suffolk County Jail. Dealing with people the clients. I don't call them inmates. The clients that were HIV and AIDS, who had HIV and AIDS. And that was a good thing.
You found it therapeutic to be able to share with other people that were infected?
Yeah, but the fact is, they were able to get out a lot of things they were going through, being incarcerated and dealing with the things that are going on in jail. And what happened is, I had messed up when I was 18 in college, and I'd gotten myself in trouble, and for shoplifting. And I was in Nassau County Correctional Center, and that was actually before I moved into Florida. And what happened is, I called my parents, and my sister told me, "Oh, everybody knows." My older sister said, because the car I was driving, it was a college associate, but I was working for him, and I was able to drive his new car anywhere. I know I'm flipping all around.
That's okay.
But what happened was, I was driving that car, and when I got in trouble, I'd gotten arrested.
They took the car.
No, the car was in the parking lot. I was at the mall. Used to be the Sunrise Mall.
Right.
I got arrested, and they were like, "Oh, you're in trouble now." The police officers, "You're going to do some time."
Wow.
And I'm looking like, "Yeah, okay. You don't know my God." And I was brought up that God is able to do anything. And the reason why things happen is because he works the way he works. Things happen. And so what happened is, I was okay, but also I was a criminal justice major in college, so I was
So you know the law.
At least I thought I knew the law. I went to the jail. I'm not going to say many names. People like, "Oh, kudos to." But what happened while I was there, I was in new admits, and a gentleman came to me and said, "Mead, just to tell you, sleep the other way." He said, "Because you're putting your glasses down next to you, and people want your glasses. So they're going to take your glasses and take your lens out."
What do you mean for the glass?
No, they want the frames, because I had Playboy frames.
Wow.
Yeah. And what happened, back in the day, that was the style. And so what happened is, I always thought that person said, because I knew him from growing up. And it wasn't until about maybe 5 years ago, I was able to thank him for doing that. And I switched to the other side. But anyway, what happened is, my mother came up to the jail to visit me. And she was crying. She said, "I don't know what got into you, but whatever it is, you better get it out." And she said, I can't bring you a Bible, but I'm bringing you a Sunday school book. She gave me my Sunday school book. She said, you better read that. And she also told me, she said, listen, I've never been so humiliated in my life.
It's very
She said, I had to take off my bra, everything. She said, if you ever do something like this again, you can forget it. Anyway, my father, which is typically my father, and this is before he came to me and said, I know what you're going through. My mother said, your father said he made his bed, let him lie in it. And so my mother said, until he's going to change his mind, because me and your sister are fasting and praying, that he changed his mind. And so she said, meaning to turn their plates down, And so what happened, by the next day, I called, and my other sister said, my other sister's getting a lawyer right now. Your father changed his mind. Daddy changed his mind. I said, thank God. Because when I went to arraignment, me being a criminal justice major, thinking I knew everything, I had legal aid.
You didn't want the legal aid.
Well, if he was going to do something, but he got up there and said, oh, my client pleads guilty. I said, no, I don't. Right for the judge.
Good
And
for
the judge
you.
said, okay, Mr. Jackson, I think you'll need some time. I'm going to remand you back to prison. You have to get everything together. I said, okay, thank you, Your Honor. And when I went back to jail, not home, I went back to the jail and I made the phone call. My sister said, yeah, your other sister's getting a lawyer for you. And so my father changed his mind. And they used the tax money for the house to pay the lawyer.
Aw.
Yeah, and so what happened was the next day, 2 days later, I went back to the jail, and I had to do things. I had to tell my parents and my sister where to go and get this and that from. Because I was the dean's list student in college. And so what happened was when they went for arraignment the second time, the judge said, listen, Mr. Jackson, this was on your 18th birthday. I know you were doing something. You must have been smoking some of that wacky weed or some of that funny juice or something. He said, come up to my bench, come up to the podium. And he slapped me on my hand and said, listen, he said, I'm going to make a deal with you. If you commit no more crimes for the next 7 years, this is all going under I'm wiping it all away. But within the next year, if you commit any crimes, you're going to deal with all of this and bring it all back in. And so what happened is I had to go back to the jail to collect, and he said, you're free to go, but you have to go back to the jail. I went back to the jail to get my stuff. And I told one of the officers there, I said, I'm going to be working here. He said, yeah, right, over my dead body. And he laughed at me.
That's funny.
But knowing how good God is, back in 2000, a very good friend of mine that we both know, Cherie, she said, there's a position at my job. I said, what is it? She said, it's a corrections outreach worker. I said,
Which is what you told the guy.
And I said, where is it? I said, Nassau County Jail. I said, yeah. Well, that's the place where I got arrested at. And she said, I don't think there would be a problem. That was over, 20 years ago, years ago. And so what happened is I went and I applied with the director, and she was talking, and she had said to me, she said, well, I mean, I like you, you know, I think you can do the job. He said, but I'm going to tell you something. We have support groups, and, you know, they're gay people, and there are transvestites, and there are lesbians, and because you deal with the males and the females separately. And I said, that's okay. I dealt with all them, all those types of people. She said, really? I said, yes. She said, okay. And so I started the job, and I was working out fine. And I think my director at the time was Jill Williams. You know, I have to give that plug in. She's a great person, and I thank her. And the whole thing is, I was there from 2000 to 2008. And what happened is they closed my grant. And so I had to leave there, and the fact is, I don't know if that corrections officer was still there, but one of the corrections officers said, you know, you look familiar. I said, yeah, I probably do, you know. The whole thing is, you know, I had full range of the jail, and it was very good. It's a very good job, and I was able to have someone look up my record in there. But the record was still there, the charges, but it was all nothing. You know, no time, no nothing, and I thank God for that.
Good, good.
Yes.
Well, we're going to take a break right now.
Okay.
And when we come back, we're going to continue with Up Close and Personal with me, Jackson. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tom Dow. We have a multidisciplinary practice in Melville and Ronkonkoma, New York, and we treat patients with many, many different conditions, from newborns through geriatric patients with numerous different techniques. There's a technique and a type of treatment for every class of patient. We have them all here. Here's my son Thomas, also a doctor of chiropractic, working on one of our patients' cervical spine. This patient has had chronic neck pain for many, many, many years, has been to a multitude of different practitioners with little or no response. And with our specialized techniques, she has improved tremendously and continues to improve on a daily basis. We have two practices, one in Melville and one in Ronkonkoma, New York. We are a multidiscipline chiropractic office. What that means is we have chiropractors, massage therapists, acupuncturists, psychologists, all working as a team and a network of outside professionals such as orthopedists and neurologists that we work hand in hand with to help determine what your injuries are and the best way to treat your injuries. I have the great pleasure of having my son in practice with me. We work hand in hand, father and son, to give our patients the best care possible, and a staff which is loving, caring, and you'll never have to wait at all in our office for service. Many times patients come into our office and they have what's called a soft tissue injury. Soft tissue injuries are like scars inside your body. If you've ever been cut on the outside of your body, you get a scar. The same thing happens inside of your body to your muscles and ligaments. So our job is to determine where those are, stretch the muscles, adjust the vertebra back into their correct position, and then refortify the normal structure with exercise. That's what we do best, and I hope someday you'll come see us at one of our two offices. Thank you.
we're going to do a live commercial. Hi, I'm Renee Marie. I'm the president of Language of Love Incorporated Foundation. I'm really happy to tell you that we're going to be doing a Language of Love telethon on March 29, 2015 from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Please look for the location on my website, ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. And once again, it's ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. And the show will be hosted on the Madhouse TV. It really is important for you to be aware of strokes and aphasia. Strokes is the third leading cause of death in America and the first leading cause of disability. And it really is something that plays no favoritism. And it also really comes when you're not expecting. Nobody expects to have a stroke, and nobody expects to suffer from aphasia. And it really does make a huge impact in your life and change your life in one split second. So we look forward to having everyone join us once again on March 29, 2015 from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. And you can follow us on ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. Once again, it's ReneeMarieLanguageOfLove.org. And we look forward to seeing you. God bless.
Welcome back to Body Shop TV. My name is Chella.
And I am the body mechanic, NYC.
And we're here with Meade Jackson, up close and personal, talking about his journey with HIV and AIDS. Meade, I have a question for you. Did you experience any discrimination about your HIV status?
Yes, actually.
I mean, aside from the job originally when you were first diagnosed.
I have, but I'm the type of person where I'm going to confront it. And I'll tell you, I was waiting for someone to do it because guess what? I'll see you in a minute. But
so you weren't having it?
No. And I'm also an advocate for people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, back when AOL was big, I had a phone number where you can call in and ask any questions about HIV and AIDS.
Nice.
Yeah, but that went down with AOL, even though AOL is still there.
Right.
You get mail and everything. But just to let you know that regarding the discrimination, that's what my job was charged with. Yes. And I had to come all the way back to New York and deal with an agency that a lot of people don't like, GMHC.
I love that.
Gay Men's Health
you were working
Crisis.
for at the time?
No. I was living in Long Island, but I had to, in order for me to get help with my lawsuit, no one on Long Island was able to help me or were interested in my case.
GMHC, they're awesome.
So what happened is I went to GMHC, and I told some friends about it. They said, well, why are you going to the Gay Men's Health Crisis? He said, you're not gay anymore. I said, yeah, but guess what? If you want some help, you have to go where the help is.
They had the best dance-a-thons. My sister and I went to every one of their dance-a-thons. We raised a lot of money. It was awesome.
Well, a gentleman who's no longer there is a guy named Jeremy Verman. He said, well, we're going to help you. They found their lawyer. They worked that out. And this is back in 1997.
Did it go to court? Did it go to trial?
Yeah, no. What happened is they worked it out.
They
did.
They flew me to Canton, Ohio. I won't say the name of the people that I sued because I signed a note.
Like a gag order?
Yeah. And so what happened is they asked me, said, well, would this amount be? And I said, yes. And I sued and I won. But the fact is, the money, people asked about that money. I had to survive off of that money.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. You know, I was speaking with the body mechanic earlier and sharing with him that it could be my perception. I don't see people, I don't see signs, red ribbons in regards to HIV/AIDS. You just don't hear conversations anymore. Would you agree with me?
Yes. Well, a whole lot of agencies, it seems like I don't know if they shut down or they
lost
just
funding.
changed well, they lost funding, but does that mean you have to walk away from it?
But where does I always think about something. Where does the funding come from?
From Ryan White.
From who?
Ryan White funds. You know, the young man who had AIDS and they kicked him out of school, they followed him. He had a big struggle. And through that, a lot of funds, a lot of things were made available to people. And I used to have a problem saying, okay, I had AIDS, but these people with HIV, what are they fighting for? And not knowing that, I realized that one day they will have it. But the whole thing is now, then it went from, before this whole thing changed, they started helping only HIV people. And all AIDS people with AIDS were just set back. Half of them were dead and the other half couldn't move.
Right. And let's talk about the difference. HIV is the status where you slowly begin to deteriorate your T4 cells. And
Your immune system is no longer, right, your immune system is no longer.
right. And so when your T4 cell count hits 20 or below, then you're diagnosed as having AIDS. And it's 200.
Yeah. At first it was 300. Then below that, or 200 when you're diagnosed as having AIDS.
And it's important for someone infected to know their T count, because when they do reach 200 or below, they're diagnosed with having AIDS, a lot more benefits become available to them.
Right. But what happens is that a whole lot of people that realize they have AIDS and and know that they can get help, a lot of them are too scared.
So
stigma.
So let me understand something. What is the difference between HIV and AIDS?
HIV, your immune system is compromised. You may have maybe one illness,
But your
one
immune system is still
opportunistic
working.
infection. It's still working, but even with AIDS, your immune system is still working. But the fact is, with AIDS, you have at least 2 opportunistic infections, meaning shingles, PCP pneumonia, sarcoma, and the whole thing is when I came in, first thing they were giving people was AZT.
Which was put on the shelf many years ago because
it was killing people.
It was too toxic for the human body.
The whole thing is, I didn't start taking medicines until about a year or 2 after I was diagnosed with AIDS.
So what did you do at that point? What were you doing then, at that time?
At that time, praying.
Did you change anything? Like what you were eating? Did you change?
Oh yes, but the fact is, that's why I had to come back to New York. Because Florida at that time wasn't offering any help. And so what happened was I had, first I was with my mother and father, and they were cooking. They were both diabetics, and so that was helping me. Then I moved in with my sister, and she cooks very well. She because of her being raised by my parents, she cooks for my parents, so she knows she doesn't use a lot of salt, a lot of bad stuff, a lot of sugar. And what happened is that thank God I was able to survive.
So how are you living today? How's your diet? Are you exercising? Are you on meds?
I'm on meds.
How many pills?
3 HIV meds. 3 pills. But then I'll take a pill for high blood pressure. And
Did you have high blood pressure before?
No. And I'm taking
cholesterol med?
Hmm?
You're taking cholesterol med?
Yes. And also, because the whole thing is the medicine, even though it's helping you, it's also killing
That's right. That's right.
you. And simple as that. It's helping you, but it's killing you.
You know, Mead, when I was with PWAC, there was a big struggle between AZT and then the introduction of the cocktail, and then a lot of PWAs, people with AIDS, were looking at the holistic route. That was back in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I remember this guy who came in who had a company called Ayurveda, and a lot of people were turned off by him because he was showing a different route to take holistically, and they just weren't ready to hear it. Have you ever been educated on another method?
Yes, I've been educated a couple of them. But, well, I was in a support group. There was a gentleman there who was taking nothing but vitamins. And
How was he doing?
I never kept in contact with him because the support group stopped.
Did you ever hear about the Dallas Buyers Club before the movie came out? Or do you know what the Dallas Buyers Club is? You ever heard of the Dallas Buyers Club?
Dallas Fire Club?
Dallas Buyers Club.
Oh, I heard about Buyers Club, but no, I never participated in that.
So you were aware of it?
Yes. No, but what, buying medicines?
Well,
What
the movie came out, what, 2 years ago? Matthew McConaughey was the actor. Basically, this guy down in Dallas, he was a cowboy. He went in and he got diagnosed. He had full-blown AIDS, right? And that's when they started the trial. This was in the 80s. They started the clinical trials in this particular hospital. The actual pharmaceutical industry came there, and what they did was they said they were going to compensate the doctors for doing the trial, and people that were diagnosed with AIDS were going in and doing it, but there was a placebo and the actual ATZ, right? Is it ATZ?
Yeah.
Okay.
AZT.
AZT, I'm sorry. AZT. ATZ just sounds one of my tongue. AZT. Okay. So what happened was the drug was killing half of the people that were doing the trial. And Matthew McConaughey's a character, they would not let him do the trial. They wouldn't let him do the clinical trial. He just wanted to buy it, but they wouldn't let him. So he did a little research, and, oh, no, I know what it was. Someone in the hospital got him the drug. He started using it, and he passed out. I don't know if you heard about this story or not. So what happened was someone in the hospital, a Latin dude, recommended that he go across the border and see this doctor who was working with all these different patients. People had cancer, had AIDS, and he was healing them. So he went across the border, and he got protein, and he got vitamins, because basically the body immune system is weakened because it's lacking certain things.
Right.
So when he got diagnosed, they told him to get his stuff in order because he had 20-something days left to live. And on vitamins, without drugs, he lived an additional 12 years. And they set up all these clubs, and they were called Dallas Buyers Club. They can actually buy the minerals and stuff that came from below the border. And that's when the FDA stepped in and the pharmaceuticals stepped in and said that you could no longer buy the supplements.
Well, just to mention that play, I've only had one T cell and left in my body about 3 times in my life.
You mean one?
One T cell, yes, and still survived. I had I had something called CNS lymphoma, central nervous system lymphoma, and I was at Stony Brook Hospital, and the doctor told me you have 3 months to live with or without surgery. Because it's called central nervous system lymphoma. It was on the brain stem and right above here. So I was walking around with an X here and an X here, and people looking at me like, are you part of a satanic cult or something? And even in the hospital, and so I had to tell somebody, I said, no, this is where I'm getting radiation at. And I had 10 double doses of radiation.
Do you still get radiation?
No, just that at that time, I had 10 double doses of radiation.
10
And
double
guess what?
doses.
10 double doses. And I'm still here. Yeah.
I just want to.
How long ago was that?
That was back in 90. I can't remember, 95, 96.
You know what's interesting? I just want to say this. I don't know whether you know this. Have you ever heard of mushrooms that affect your condition? Have you ever heard of that? Mushrooms that you can take. Are you aware of this?
No, but I love mushrooms.
No. You probably do. You probably like portobellas and little mushroom caps. But that's not the stuff I'm talking about.
Okay.
What I'm talking about is stuff that they're called adaptogens. And basically what they do is they supercharge your immune response and rebalance your internal ecosystem. And it's been used for thousands of years. Western medicine now is combining its efforts with Eastern medicine because they can no longer deny what's going on. And there are specific things like Ling Chi, there's Chaga, there's cordyceps, and all these things rebalance your body regardless of what you have. And I think it's something that you should consider and look into because it works.
Well, me being here 21 years after the diagnosis, I'm going to tell you what I'm using is working too.
I agree.
I respect that.
And the fact is, God.
I respect that too.
If all of a sudden the Holy Ghost, I go to church and I try and live my life good. And I thank God because I'm at the church that I affiliate with now. They are very responsive. And, you know, my senior pastor, Bishop Frank White, has really, he's really helped me, strengthen me. And the fact is, I dealt with other people and they just wanted to look over. They were always interested in money. Is the money there? Is there any money in it? And what happens, I recently went to my pastor, my senior pastor, and I asked him about a support group. And he said, yes. And so what I'm doing now, I'm going to run a support group, and it made me think about it. My pastor, my senior pastor is one thing. My pastor, he always teaches you do everything big. And so by me starting the support group, I said I'm going to start my agency back up.
Excellent.
It's a nonprofit agency, and the name of it is Ask, meaning ask, seek, and knock. Ask, and it shall be given. Seeking, you shall find. Knocking, the door shall be open. HIV and AIDS organization.
Did you get your 501c3?
No, I didn't do it. I got to do all that.
Okay.
Yes, and I have my advisory board already.
Excellent.
And that's what we're going to be working on.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
And so, and as far as everything else, I take my meds. And considering meds, these new cocktails and everything, being that I was diagnosed back in 93, I've been through every medicine that they had. And at one point, I was on salvage therapy, meaning seeing what will work. They test your blood and see if you have had some of that. But these combo therapies, all they are is the old ones mixed up.
That's all they do.
They're mixing, like the cocktails. That's what they are. They're mixing different cocktails, different parts of this medicine, that medicine, and a lot of those I'm resistant to because I can't take them.
What kind of message would you give to our viewers in closing?
I would tell them to, I can tell them what I do. I found Jesus and I'm holding on to him. That's the way I'm going.
Okay, right on, right on.
And the fact is, he saved me and he's cleaned me up. I fall, I mess up, but guess what? I get back up because he still loves me. And I'm going on that, and I stand on that no matter what. I don't care what you say.
Well, we're grateful that you were on our show today.
Sharing your story.
No doubt. We really appreciate that. For those of you who are watching and who don't really know much about the virus, just let me give you a little bit of information. The virus of HIV is a virus that slowly depletes your immune system. As healthy individuals, we have about 1,500 T4 cells that make up our immune system. Putting ourselves at risk by unprotected sex, sharing of needles, possibly through a blood transfusion and from mother to child. The body fluids that carry the virus from one body to another are blood, semen, vaginal fluids, and breast milk. You don't need a PhD to understand HIV. It's extremely simple. You just need to not put yourself at risk with other body fluids that may carry the virus. A lot of us are in denial, hence why we have not seen red ribbons in very, very many years. The virus is still here. So we have to be cognizant of our behavior and not be in denial and not share our bodies with anyone because we're looking for love in the wrong places in most cases. So once again, blood, semen, vaginal fluids, and breast milk, unprotected sex, sharing of needles, possibly through a blood transfusion, and from mother to child. It's that simple. I encourage you, if you feel that you've put yourself at risk, to get tested. Testing sites are all over. Clinics, hospitals, Planned Parenthood, where have you. They're readily available, and I do not recommend getting a test from the drugstore.
Yes. And also, a lot of the young people, as well as old people, because AIDS it affects young people and old people. HIV affects young people and old people.
That's right, especially the old people.
If you don't know, you better ask somebody.
Ask somebody.
And just because the person looks right doesn't mean that they don't have it.
That's right. Mead, thank you again for being with us today. I really appreciate your effort and sharing your story. Join us on the 15th. A reminder, our holiday party, free, organic food. The body mechanic will massage you. Lots of food, lots of fun. We love you. Have an awesome week. Love hard and kiss long.
Sorry.